We were looking for a contractor to, do our basement.
Whoever framed this knows really nothing about construction.
We kept getting phone calls saying, just be patient with us. We know how difficult this is for you.
Rough-in plumbing that's not hooked to anything. Okay.
And they knew about the pregnancy. Like, they knew about the time that we had left.
1 year to build, an hour to take down.
We want to be able to get on with our lives and live normally.
Small basement, a lot of problems. Big problems. Oh, yeah, baby. Mike Holmes. But if you're going to do it right the first time. Let's get rid of it. How do you do this to a family? Look at the nest. They got a nest of them. Oh, my God. On the money. 2, 3.
Oh, my God!
Huh?
Thank you, guys. Oh, do I ever...
Simon and Lisa planned way ahead. We're gonna have the baby down the road. Let's finish the basement. Get a bathroom in the basement so they can renovate the bathroom upstairs. Have everything done when the baby comes. It's a real windy day today.
We were at the home show. We came across this company. They seemed to have all the right credentials. They were very good at talking the job up and what they'd done, and they'd been in the business a long time.
This is a big company that supposedly does big renovations. They checked them out. They did their homework. Hello, Simon.
Come on
Lisa.
in.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
The original contract was for $30,000. They actually bumped that later on to 38.
We were told that the cost of doing this beam and getting the engineering drawings and all that was more than they expected, and they had difficulty finding someone to do it.
$8,000 to put this beam in.
They said 4 to 6 weeks was what it was going to take to do the project, and that they would start approximately mid-May.
A year later from starting the job, what do we have done? We have rough-in, carpentry, studded walls. We have electrical, rough-in. We have plumbing, rough-in. No finished basement, baby on the way. About a month and a half away.
They kept not showing up, went on and on and on, and we were almost giving up on them.
This is not hard. This is a 4-week job. Complete, start to finish, 4 weeks. Okay, let's take a walk around. How much have you paid this contractor so far?
$27,000 plus.
In November came to us and said, we're going to start December. And we were like, okay, thank goodness, finally, we're going to get going.
Let's take a real good look at this. Here's the bathroom.
December 4th, they showed up. They did some work.
We don't do this. This is our ventilation. They've cut into the stud like this. At least they put up a plate, but I hate that because it's not the proper plate. And that's so nobody can pierce that with a screw. Although a drywall screw will pierce it. It's supposed to let you know there's something there, right? But because they cut the studding like that, there's not a lot within that to be strong.
Several weeks after that, it was, there's been a burst pipe at this other site and they can't come back to work on our project for a little bit longer.
Everything needs to be nailing edges, right? So it's all structures tied in. We wonder why all our corners crack. It's because of slop work just like this.
All of our furniture and all of our belongings that we've had here have gone upstairs to our dining room, and we haven't been able to have anyone over for dinner. We haven't been able to really use the space.
It's like living in a war zone.
Yeah, not being comfortable, not being able to relax fully because you've got all this clutter and it kind of just weighs on you and you don't feel you can move forward.
We're venting. We now go up. We go over. And we come back down. You can't do that.
I phoned the president of the company and I said, that's it, I don't want you in anymore. You've burnt all your bridges.
Now they're trying to negotiate to get out of the job and they want a settlement fee for running the job.
Claim that they've spent $28,000 effectively, including their management fee.
Come, just go away. Just go away. What the hell is this? We have bulkheads. Let's run it through the bulkhead. Let's bring it back in. Let's tie it down in low.
I guess really what happens is you get in fairly deep. When you've already made a commitment of your down payment and you feel committed, that you tend to go on and on expecting them to deliver, and it just never happened.
It's all the things I see. Why are my pipes banging? They're not secured, right? They're not properly secured at all. Electrical, look at this, I just saw this. We have a junction point here. They were gonna hide this, because you're gonna drywall this, right? The framing is completely driving me nuts. See the corner there? We're gonna fix that with corner bead? drywall screws. This is not at all good enough to hold your drywall. I didn't even pull hard on that. Bit by bit, we're gonna see problem after problem arising here. There's one really good point here. They didn't go any further. There they are, a year. Imagine that. Hiring someone, giving them $28,000, and all you've got is crap that's not finished.
And we're worried about the future in terms of our baby and the safety. We want to make sure that the house is ready to be lived in, and then it's okay for her.
For me, it's simple. I'm gonna take it all down, I'm gonna investigate, I'm gonna put it back together, I'm gonna make it right. Keep smiling.
Thank you
I'll
very
get the
much.
guys,
Thank you very much.
and we'll be back.
Excellent.
Thanks
Okay.
very much.
Well, you see one thing wrong, two, three, there's how many things wrong in here?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna cement this properly, but I really wanna see what they did here, and I'm not gonna finish this basement until I know this is right.
Our patience has only gone so far, and we have to start moving. We don't have the time to wait, so we need the help to get it done.
The baby will be here before the
We have a
basement's even
basement.
done.
Another basement.
Yeah.
Quite a few things wrong, but you know what I wanna start with? Cleaning up. Let's get the garbage out, let's get the walker out into the garage. Let's keep the jack posts, and we'll put those on the truck. Pinky, education time, come here. Look at all the 1x3s. So I held up with one drywall screw, so in total that whole length, which is about 8 feet, we had 3 drywall screws. And what do we see right there?
A junction?
A junction. Actually, there's quite a few junctions, so they were just gonna drywall over it, which, are we allowed to do that?
No.
Actually, did you hear that? Listen. What does that mean?
There's water sitting in the
There's
pipe.
water. Why is there water sitting in the pipe?
Because your slope's wrong.
That's right. We see a run down here on the bulkhead. It's unlevel. How was this screwed in? With drywall screws. Let's clean it up. I'm gonna pull the studs down. We're not gonna wreck the place. Let's cut them out, drill them out, do whatever we do. See if we can reuse them, okay?
No nails at all on this one.
These are the things that drive me nuts. We got a nice wire hanging from the box. It's live. Where does that go? Let's look up in here. Be very careful because everything is live. It's right there. Shut the breaker off. Safety. Electrical lines, they come down, they want to go around the beam, they staple them real tight, bringing them across the beam. What if the center ever energized that beam? We don't want electrical touching steel. See this? Copper does not touch steel. Why? Copper and steel do not get along. It's also grounding the house, which now grounds that beam. Silly buggers.
Did you see this, Holmes? So that's what, 220?
That's 220. Imagine that. You're grabbing this, you're moving it around, and it energizes this.
No kidding.
Whoa, boy, would you fly.
Not only that, right beside the washing machine, any water splashing around on this, that's a dangerous.
Stupidity. That's stupidity.
Is that live? Oh my God.
Yep, sitting right up on top, just like this. Even though I don't want to keep it up there anymore, it's right up there. So they've disconnected it. Who the hell knows what they've done to the electrical? Frank's gonna have a shoot. It's over the ductwork. I'm telling you, there's no clamp. There's one clamp here. We have one clamp here, and beautiful. Somebody put clamps in here. Wrong clamps. Remember what I said about steel touching copper? It's supposed to be copper. You know, this is the easiest stuff, is to reroute the copper. It's easy. But no, run it up over the ductwork, across the steel beam. No, do it the hard way.
Holy! They put half the effort into their studs as they did into this little piece of wood. I'm telling you.
I found a clean out. Interesting. So we know we have a clean out right here. Our clean outs are gonna be where the pipe runs out the wall. My guess is, look at this, there was a clean out right here, or somewhere in this neighborhood in this area. So that means we have an interior drain line as well as a sewage line. I can see the hole they bust open on the floor, and this is all we needed to run the shower, which they tied in to the main. So that means they removed the clean out without putting one back in. Now that's kind of fishy, because that tells me, was this truly passed? So let's pull up this plywood. They did cement it. Let's break it. I want to see all the drains. I want to see how it's tied in. I want to see what they did with that clean out, okay?
Okay.
Let's break it. But having a clean out there and removing another clean out, how do you get to that clean out when there's a bench there? How do you ever scope these drains? Here, I want to see what they did under this.
Not to mention, it looks like a leaky main
It's been
line
leaking.
coming in.
Look, it's dripping right now. I just saw the drip.
Yeah.
Okay, so we saw the wood we pulled up. It was saturated. So close that off so you can't get to it.
Right.
It's freaking brilliant, eh?
40 grand.
Waste of money. See that? When they do it wrong, it comes up easy. Not that much cement. It appears like they did it correct. We do have a Y off the toilet. The toilet's on the run, so we've got a Y. This is a vent. 1.5-inch vent that goes up and supposedly ties in it, which is incorrect, but it is air behind water. So as a rough-in, if the inspector came in and it was up to here, he'd so far pass it. We have a proper Y here, so anything horizontal requires a Y and not a TY. Well, what I want to see is how they tied in, because I saw a trap there. Now I got to see the weeper in case they broke it, okay? So what we see is we have the clean out for the weeper and no clean out anymore for the sewage. I'm not impressed with that. Was that broke?
It was cracked. I just pulled it right off. It was just sitting there.
Great. Okay, you know what? Stick that back in before we get dirt in there. Pull that earth out and just stick it in place.
All right.
I'm gonna assume that when they tied into it, they broke it and sat it back in place and put the fitting over top of it and used the Fernco fitting to tighten against it. So odds are they broke it and didn't want to dig down further, which is now what we're gonna have to do.
I went upstairs, I inspected the kitchen. The pipe diameter for the drain is okay, but there's no vent.
Sorry for breaking the news.
You gotta love it.
Oh, man.
They did get permits on this, they did get screwed on this, and they've been working on this for a year.
A year?
She's due with a baby. They wanted to get this done so they could remodel the bathroom upstairs. So they're kind of screwed up on this one. Okay, first thing I saw was the two, obviously we have in and out, okay? And the exhaust from the hot water heater, and I saw them take it up through the deck at the top.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And I get the feeling it's too close to the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any issues of bringing those lines right out to the end of the deck?
Nope.
As long as we have it on a down run, we don't have to worry about the condensation?
Everything needs to slope back to the furnace.
Okay.
The air conditioner should be moved.
It should be moved.
That hot air from the air conditioning throws 5 feet up. Right now, you're about a foot. So it's hitting the deck and coming right back down into the air conditioning. Eventually, that unit, the compressor, will give out on it. And I can guarantee you it's probably already been done already. I see they changed the liquid line dryer here.
This is going to actually off-gas into the house because that wasn't put in right.
You will get a little bit of leakage here because it's not tight. If anybody ever was doing some work here and they lifted this off, now you got it coming into the house.
Don't worry, we'll move this.
Oh, that beautiful drain pipe.
This is the main sanitary drain.
That one is the vent outside, right?
This should be the breather for this trap. You cannot attach the drain directly into the trap. You cannot do that. As the water is draining through this line, it picks up the momentum. All of a sudden, it ends up in a trap where all that momentum is being lost. Here, I'm gonna get all the solids, all the debris just sitting.
In the trap.
In the trap. The traps are no longer approved by code because of the amount of problems that they create.
We're gonna cut all this crap out.
Exactly.
And we're gonna redo it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But we want to scope to make sure everything else is fine.
Exactly, yeah. See, because we're dealing with clay pipe, and this is an original pipe that was installed with the house. Pieces break apart quite easily. I want to make sure we don't have any other surprises outside, and the pipe is actually intact. So.
Tell me we're gonna dig outside, and I'm really gonna have a good evening tonight.
See, what I'm looking for is any offsets, any misalignments, any cracks in the pipe that could give me an indication of aging.
I saw a Y there. I take it the neighbors also tied into that
yeah.
line?
Yeah.
Now you're out to the street. And there's no water, no blockage.
Perfectly clear.
All right, I'm feeling a little better. Let's get a chalk line and keep it in line with this area right here. Okay. Chalk a line right to the 1.5 inch, okay? And then we're gonna get a 45, a square,
Yeah.
okay, a 90. And we're gonna come over here. I wanna see a drain approximately right here.
That looks pretty good. Okay.
So we're gonna have to cut that path, even to keep it here. That way we got it right in here. We can put the trap in the floor. And we use it both for the hot water heater and the furnace. The only reason I'm trying to get the bathroom over here is because we have a window. And personally, I want a window in the bathroom. In that location, there's no window. You can always film the window, so that way we get light in, nobody can see, go to the bathroom. Move the laundry over there so we have access to the water, as well as just turn it into a laundry room. I can actually make storage, a nice cabinet. I think I'm moving the bathroom over here.
Always the first step before anybody finishes the basement, run a video camera, scope the drain, find out what the condition of it is. It will give you an idea of the life expectancy of your drain, as well as it will give you an idea of where the drains are running, how deep they are, whether there are any tree roots, whether there are any issues that may cause you problems down the road. If you're gonna have a construction crew here, change the drains. Replace them with new PVC. That way, once you close the floor, you never get back to this issue. It's PVC material. This is the only material that is allowed for underground drain installation. Nowadays, it's the best material. It's a lot better than clay. It does have some flexibility to it, so if the ground shifts or settles, that pipe will not crack, will not deteriorate. It will sort of work with the soil. As soon as you extend the pipe above the concrete surface, you make a transition, and then you continue with the ABS material. If it's installed properly, if it's supported with gravel properly, then it can last as long as the house pretty much. If it's done right, you don't have to be concerned.
Well, we got all the plumbing passed, the rough in anyways, by the building inspector. He came in and took a good look at it, which I'm very pleased with. The guys that filled it in with the concrete did a self-leveling here. We're gonna have to do just a little bit more. We started the subfloor on this side with the thermal break, the rigid foam underneath it. We found out the engineer did not inspect the footings for this post over here. So the problem is we now have to put in a support post here. We're gonna have to put in a support post right here, get another one in directly underneath. So we're gonna have 3 of them holding the weight load while we pull this guy out, cut the floor, and put in a proper footing. What we did was we did a test hole at this location to determine what type of footing is under this post. He did not like it. So he said, it's gotta be done again. So surprised, but it's not a surprise. Did we find anything right in here? No. Did we find lots wrong? Yes. Start studding here. I want you to be at least 1.5 inches, okay? So get your bottom plate in, get your top plate in, stand in your studs. Let's remember we're gonna build out the wall beyond that 2-inch sleeve right there of the ABS.
Okay.
And that way we can spray foam in behind it. Make sure every stud is away from the wall, that's all. All corners, everything, okay? And don't tag them in until you're level. Where's my tape? Where's my drill? Maybe I should bring my own tools, eh? Oh! I'm just laying out the floor so further ahead they know just to go up and stud from where I lay it. Anything I can do to keep ahead of these guys. He said the concrete was no good. All day. I have a minor issue. When it rained, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I was in LA. They said water came in the basement at this location right here. This is the old fill pipe for the old oil tank. because there used to be an oil tank downstairs.
Yeah.
So if it's leaking in this location, I'm just wondering, you know, we do have a downfall here. I'm wondering if the water actually went in there. Last thing I want to do is break up the driveway, go down, re-waterproof the wall, trying to get the, because we're finishing the basement. I'm thinking about calling in my asphalt guys, so I just called you in to ask that question. Should we open it up, repair it, do a new asphalt, maybe break this down a bit?
With a block wall, we can always tell from the inside, where you're getting the waterproof of a puddle or where the blocks are getting wet, but that's not necessarily where the cavity is that's letting the blocks fill up with water. That can be anywhere up and down
Like
this
a
wall.
dominoes effect, it could be coming in from
Yeah,
anywhere.
just like the champagne glasses. It just spills over from glass
like
to
that
glass,
one better.
right? So,
Dominoes.
it may very well be where this pipe is coming through the wall, or, we've seen a couple of possibilities on the exterior. The only way to know for sure is to dig it up and repair the whole thing. Where the old down pipe is going into the ground there, I mean, even if we reroute that down pipe, the old clay pipe is most likely cracked, so it's gonna fill up with groundwater, so whatever's happening in that front quarter, we still might see that even if we reroute the down pipe. So we should cap that right at the base, just to stop any water from going down there.
And if we're gonna dig down there, we might as well dig down to here.
Yep.
All right. Great.
Okay.
Simple basement.
Plan to have things finished on certain dates so that we can continue with other projects on the house to be finished before the baby's here. And what's happened is that they've completely ruined those plans.
Here they are, a year. Imagine that. Hiring someone, giving them $28,000, and all you've got is crap that's not finished.
I feel very nervous, very anxious. That was one of our concerns when we were renovating, is making
exactly.
sure it was safe and that it was done on time. And a year's passed, and we're at the point where we have to get it done. We don't have a choice with the baby on the way in a month and a half. So we're down to the wire, and we're hoping that, Mike, and we know he will help us get out of this. But it's just, we've been digging and digging. We can't get ourselves out. And so
It's nerve-wracking. This was the first step, the basement being done, which was supposed to be done a year ago, to being able to finish the other parts of the house. And what it effectively has done is only having one bathroom. It's completely stopped us from doing anything else.
The last one was done with half-inch pipe before, and with the half-inch PVC, they decided to tie into the existing old metal, which does not have any drain hole, so it ends up not passing the electrical code. Half-inch can be used with T90. With the amount of work it takes to get the actual wire in the pipe, it just doesn't make any sense. Use the 1.25 inch.
Okay, Frank.
Oh, got it up?
Yep.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Look at these guys. Come in here and fly through it. I don't even need any questions. Just pull the crap out and do it again.
Very bad job here. Look at that. No screws, no tape. Not good. No screws again. Well, this run before was underneath this beam and it was running straight. You can see the hole on the ductwork there was running here like this under the beam and right to this pipe. It's better to move it up in the joist. You don't have to box, you just gotta box it over here. So what I did was I took it down and put a top takeoff on the top of the duct and ran a new 5-inch pipe over to here, 45 it, another 45 and an elbow right back into the existing pipe. Now I'm just gonna screw it and then tape it up. And then we have another run on the other side coming down to the basement. So there is a couple of runs here that we gotta do. There's probably a total of about 4 of them. And there's also one return there that we gotta put in. So it's not a bad day. We'll just take our time and do it, a little bit at a time.
Was this cracked in the first place?
Yeah, that was cracked when we opened it up, so it wasn't sitting on there. We haven't yet opened up the bottom to see what's happening.
You think it's tied into the bottom weeping?
We got to open it up and check.
Okay, where do you think the water's? Well, we see a crack right here. That could be one little minor source, not major.
There's another little crack that we found right in this area here as well.
Ooh. Okay, starting here.
Yeah.
Works its way down. It's obvious because this is where the old pipes came in the wall. Through the mortar, continues, because once it starts cracking on the foundation wall, it usually doesn't stop. We can see it running down, right down to the bottom. That's our culprit.
Contributing for sure, and
because we know if this is open, it's going to allow the water to come in here and continuously soak. That's why we didn't see a lot of water in the basement. Well, we saw enough. It was coming in.
yeah, we're going to pull them both right out of the wall anyways and repair the hole that they put through the wall with these. We just finished the first coat of the elastomeric membrane. Right now we're applying the yellow jacket mesh. This mesh is ingrained with resin, so it's very tacky and it will adhere to the first coat. And they've made it yellow, which is quite smart because when we apply our second coat of the elastomeric, we can go right over top of it and we can make sure that we haven't missed any areas with our second coat. So what we're doing now is completely encasing this mesh. So what will happen is, even in the wintertime, this is never going to fully cure. It will always stay with a little bit of elasticity. So if there's any movement in this foundation, it's going to move with it. It's not going to cure brittle, and there it's not going to crack.
The building inspector was just in. He said everything's perfect. He loves it. I told him that we're going to be doing the spray foam today. He'll come back in the morning, inspect all the insulation, then we can close it up. You're insulating?
Yeah, just helping the plumbers out here.
Okay,
Slackers.
now since we're going to use this as a temporary jam to stop the spray foam, what I want you to do is wrap it with vapor barrier, okay?
Sure.
So what that's going to do is seal the vapor barrier to here, and when we pull them off, it won't pull off the spray foam.
Not a problem.
Frank's still got a couple more things to do with electrical. And what I'm going to do is do concrete board in this room for a fire rating.
Oh, okay.
Instead of drywall, I want the best, so we're gonna do concrete board. I don't want to do any bulkheads till we drywall the ceiling.
Okay.
So continue on with all your insulation, providing you know that Frank does not got to wire through those zones.
Right.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. By Thursday, I'm going to have, so in 4 days, I'm going to have the glass guys come in and measure for the glass, so I need to have that area done in the bathroom, because we have a week and 2 days to finish this and give it back to the homeowners. Why so fast? And I'm not liking so fast, but we will do it properly within that time limit, is because they're going to have a baby. Let's get this done, mess done, cleaned up, boom, and we're out of here, and they got a brand new baby in the world. Makes it easier. Obviously, we've set all the studding in place, built it outside of the wall so we can get the spray foam in and behind it and up into the floor joist voids. We've already spray foamed behind the panel, so if you can get them behind the corner, that would be fantastic. We need it right across. If you can just get your guy to hold this out and spray until it sets, and then he can let it go.
That way you won't pull it off.
Right, because my electricians will pull on it. If we set it in there, which we can, he'll pull on it and break the seal, so I'd rather him pull, spray, and then let it go. We have an adjoining house here, so we don't have to worry so much about the furnace room, other than this wall right through, and we've set precisely for you to get in behind it, so right to the end and up. Voids again. This is all fine. I'll build the bulkhead afterwards. This one being the adjoining wall, we don't have to worry about at all on that end, but if we can just butter it right across the front and bring into the corner about a foot, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Do you see any problems at all?
Nothing at all. Actually, we just have to make sure we push up all that insulation up top.
On the one side?
Yeah, on the one side, create a really nice envelope for them down in here. They'll be super happy.
As Alex says, intimate. I love that word.
Intimate is a good one.
Because that's the way to say it. If we're intimate, that way we have no airspace in behind it, and it's airspace we're trying to stop. We started off with, I wanted resilient channel, And I had an issue with trying to keep it down below the beam, the resilient channel. There's a couple of areas that just didn't give me that distance, and I didn't want that bow. So we just used some U-channel. It's almost the same theory. If we screw one side and leave the other side hanging, it helps take away that reverberation of sound. We've added the insulation, so that's gonna help us. If I can just get you to start on the ceiling, bring it right across, get the walls done, we'll continue to help you. I want to build the bulkheads afterwards, so once you drywall in, then I'll build the bulkheads down. So how long do you think this will take you?
It shouldn't take no more than a couple hours.
Oh, that's impressive.
More?
Nice dollops.
What are dollops?
Of cement. There you go.
First go to 90. So it really bumps really hard when you put 90, and you want to make sure that tomorrow will be dry for another coat.
This looks like a really good compressed bed already. We're just gonna add some more A-gravel crusher on it.
That's right. Put it all around, regrade it, roll it with the vibration roller.
We were talking earlier, and he said the drainage is all wrong, and it's important to control the water. One, we don't want the water running into the house or the foundation on either side. So if we manipulate it, that we come up and groove it and tunnel it down the center of the driveway, spring, fall, winter, all of it, all the seasons, it controls the water flow.
Hot stuff. It's hot. I love my job.
Move and poop again. It just seems to be my job lately. God, I love my job.
Now, how many times you see a new driveway go in, and they walk away, and they leave the land with a face on it? Now, you know what? The homeowners go, man, what am I gonna do with that? I've seen people put in stone, I've seen people put in bricks. There's a real easy way to solve this problem. What we're gonna do is take the shovel, we're gonna go in underneath and pull that earth out.
And then we're gonna fold the grass over, maybe.
That's right.
Yeah.
And as it folds down, you can just walk along it. It brings it down to the point where it appears to go in. And if it's not enough, you just dig some more out. We can always back push the earth, but instead of it looking like this, we can bring it right down. See, that already looks better, eh? Hey, look what I saw. That's a small alley. Remember as kids?
That was before my time.
I was good at it. It's mine. It's mine.
Today we're going to spray and back roll this basement. I think it'll take me probably about 45 minutes. The reason we have to back roll is because if we don't, you'll create a film on top of the fresh drywall and drywall board. So by pushing it into the drywall, it actually makes sure you get the adhesion.
This is the lighter colored grout we're using on this dark porcelain tile. The reason we're using it is because the floor is a light colored mosaic in this shower. And this light colored grout is going to make the floor stand out more than the walls. And it also matches the splotching in the marble jams that the glass is going to sit on. So once this is all cleaned up and done, it's all going to tie in nicely without changing the room too much. Just by picking a different color grout, you change the whole look of what you did.
we're gonna clean up. I want them to mop the floor just so that we get any, I don't want that powder down there. You know, they've sanded, they primed. We've been working like crazy to get this done. We got a baby on the way.
Oh boy.
Not us, the family upstairs. So we're trying to get it done. We have 2 more days, and I don't see any issues here. We're flying like crazy. So after you, the carpet will be in, and I'm hoping not today. Please tell me the carpet's not coming in today. If so, we'll deal with it. We have drop cloths.
Yeah, no problem.
What we're doing is we're using a quick set right now. So then the next 2 hours, when the plumbers come back, they can put their laundry basin in and finish up what they have to finish. So this stuff dries really fast. Within about a half an hour, this will be dry. So I gotta work real fast. Typically, we just use a normal thin set that would take like 12 hours, 14 hours to dry, and then we'd walk on it the next day. So basically what we're trying to do is save ourselves a day, because if you spend 14 hours waiting for this to dry, we'll never get anywhere. So in 2 hours, we'll be walking and working on this.
Oh, hi. Welcome to Pinky's Playhouse. There she is.
What we're doing today is we're recovering the Freon from the air conditioning. When the guys built the deck, they built the deck right on top of the air conditioning, as you can see by this big access door they put here. What it does is it has a coil around the unit, which sucks air into it, and then blows the heated air out. So you're actually causing it to blow that heated air back inside the unit, so it's not forcing that hot air to come out. So you're causing that compressor to overheat, which will trip out on overload, and then eventually you're gonna have compressor failure. It's undoubtable.
We're doing something different here. We're gonna mount it instead of the center, because the toilet comes out approximately 27 to 29 inches. I'm gonna assume 27. We'll mount the door to the side, which is always better if we can get our hinges on structure rather than on glass.
Exactly.
And that way we got plenty of room to swing in and out, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more solid too.
I used to say the last day was the worst, that it was always all about bringing on all these people, but it's been that way for the last 3 weeks here, trying to get it done before the baby came. And so far we're successful. I kicked the family out today because they wanted to sit around and be part of this, and it's like, no, you gotta go. We'll call you and come back in. But it's still the same. We got about 20 people in here running throughout and around the house, plumbers, electricians, and pros in here, Gary and Brian. Doing the new air conditioner and HEPA filter system, which is, we're here. Let's do these extra little things. There is a baby coming here, so I want to get this done. Now, this is the whisper quiet, or whatever you want to call it. It's extremely quiet.
Extremely quiet. As you can see, the design on the blades,
they're pointed.
They're pointed.
And it turns in that direction.
That's right. So it just like slices right through the air. Normal fan blades are just rounded. These ones are pointed at the end.
But
so
I thought it was more or less the motor that made the noise.
No, it's most of the noise you get is from the fan blades itself.
Is that right? Oh, look at that. That's different.
Nice.
That's totally different.
That's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
I hope that Mike is able to come in and help us get our lives back. Basically, we've been held ransom and not being able to live down in our basement, not being able to use it except to do laundry, and we want to enjoy our home and to feel comfortable and safe in it.
Last day, happy day, hard job. $40,000 contract. A little high on the price for the basement based on 600 square feet. $28,000 out of pocket. You saw what we had to do. set the mood. This is a big company that claims to be professional, that took a year to the point where she's almost having the baby. That's why we're here. That's why we're working day and night to get it done, cleaned up before the baby comes in. After you.
Oh, wow.
As you can tell, we fixed up here and painted the walls.
Wow. This looks amazing.
Wow, you just started. I feel good.
Wow.
This is brilliant.
Yeah, this is stunning.
Let's start over here. You know, last time I brought you in, we saw a lot of problems. Okay, we did a few things like moving, broke a whole lot of concrete in the floor, rerouted all your drainage, moved all the plumbing in the ceiling. There was not anything that wasn't moved. As a matter of fact, we even repaired your plumbing from the kitchen upstairs because it was not vented properly. Replaced all the plumbing, all the electrical, rerouted everything, the structure for the beam, new footings on the post. Make the engineer happy, the building inspectors. We started with a thermal break on your floor, 1-inch rigid foam going down, 5/8 tongue and groove plywood, tap gone down to the concrete, which gives us that thermal break, which will never allow moisture to come up through and always keep this floor nice and warm. They got the permits. They did it right. What went wrong?
It just been a sequence of events that just seem to get worse and worse and worse. And it makes you very wary when you feel you've done your homework and then basically you get screwed.
We put in a whole new air conditioner outside. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't know. That's fantastic.
It is absolutely top of the line. It is stunningly gorgeous, and you can't hear it. It is unbelievable. So we took it from this location and put it where it should be, on the other end of the deck. Moved all the ventilation out because it was in the wrong spot. That exhaust going out at your back door was a huge issue. At the same token, I wanted to think of the new baby.
Yes.
So you have a HEPA air filter system that really just picks up all the crap in the home and allows us to breathe healthier inside the house, okay?
You expect, you know, to be honest and have someone tell you what's expected and to have that follow through. And then when that doesn't happen, it kind of destroys any kind of trust you have in others. Even though they're well-intentioned, you look at things a lot differently.
So far we're happy?
We're very happy.
Absolutely amazing.
This is the baby's room. Just kidding, just kidding. It is your room under the stairs, which we continued the cherry wood floor right in. And you know, great storage. Now, what's behind door number 1 here? Or is that door number 2? Because this was door number 1, wasn't it? It's the laundry room. Okay, it's nothing big, nothing exciting. I just thought I'd freak you out for a second.
Good job.
In here, we also have a drain in the floor because I want it in the laundry room, and I want the laundry room in the basement. The water meter here is now put over. Look how nice and clean and neat it is. We have a proper clean out, which they abandoned before.
Worried on that. You're really worried about that.
Well, it was a good thing I broke the floor because I just showed what was necessary for this. Underneath this floor, we also have a waterproof system because I'm very big on that as well. It just works the same thing. Maybe it makes you wonder what's in that room now.
We knew he would do the job right. And, you know, I had read his book, and a lot of the stuff that I was seeing in the book when I was reading it was setting off a lot of alarms with the contractor that we had, which is what eventually made me throw them out. And that basically saved the day.
Behind door number 2, I wanted you to have a storage room down here. You don't want to overload the laundry room or anything, so this is now storage or closet. It's up to you what you want to do with it, but it's big enough. And again, bulkhead in the back, running everything that we need to run. We made sure everything was perfectly done here. So door number 3 must be the bathroom. After you.
Oh, wow. This is great.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
I thought it was important to turn your bathroom where the window is.
Right.
It just kind of makes sense to me. So we frosted your windows. You see that? Which means now you can go in there and have a shower and take a play with it. Behind your door, let's close your door. Behind your door, we took advantage of another neo-angle wall.
Nice.
Okay, and put in a recessed custom shelf that we built, put it in place. We brought in Stan, my tile guy, who did all the tiles in the bathroom. We actually did the tiles. We really tried to break up here. We were trying to get this done for you, so we separate as much as possible. You're talking about 14 different contractors were in here, different specialty teams.
The small amount of time, really, that it took for him to fix it all up made it a lot easier, because we would have been living in a real mess for a long time, that's for sure.
Because it's the basement, it's something that I recommend that you do in-floor heating in the basement. But the new stuff that we have on the market, this is great. When we want to turn it on, look at this. It lights up, it sets, it's all in a switch. It's no longer on its own, it's within a gang. So we'll switch on the light, you turn on your heat, there's a timer on it. This thing does everything. You want to set it on a timer, you usually shower 7 in the morning, set it. It'll warm up the floor, away you go. You probably won't want to use the bathroom upstairs anymore. You spend your money right in the first place, you'll never spend it again to fix it. You want to do this twice? And one thing, unfortunately, I could not leave out, was your driveway. Because we did have a leak, and that leak was from a rain. And I always hope that it rains when I'm working in a basement, especially, so I can take a look to see where possible water's coming in. And we were in this area. So that's when I brought in Rob to reroute. Your east trough sucked out the front.
Right, yes.
Reroute it. I don't know why you, the neighbor, had both houses coming into your weeping. But we moved it to the center, so it goes out to the grass.
And they're very happy about it.
Broke your driveway, brought in another crew of professionals, waterproofed the wall, fixed all the weeping on this side, which was good, by the way, it was good. We scoped all your drains. We did everything to make sure what we're doing is protected.
We were figuring that we had to wait another year to get all these extra little bits done that are outside the house, and Mike went and fixed them all, and we came home, we were completely amazed.
Yes.
We were stunned.
Are we done?
I think we're done.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
very much indeed.
My absolute pleasure. My absolute, we're gonna have a hug? Okay, something's wrong with that. I wanna hug you. Just kidding.
Thanks very much.
And thank you.
We would be in a real mess, and I don't know if we could get out of the hole we were in without Mike. It was chaotic, and we're very lucky, very happy.
Yeah.